Good afternoon. This is Debbie Bratton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Robert, Missouri. I want to thank you for joining me this afternoon. I'm on here just a little bit early to see if I can get this a little bit more straight. Now we'll see, that might not, there's a delay. That doesn't even look like I moved it. Okay, now we'll try again. Oh, I can never figure out which way to do it. Okay, I think that looks pretty good for today. And while I'm getting started here, I wanted to let you know that I am babysitting my daughter's 2 dogs along with my dog today. And I'm waiting for a package from Amazon, which I thought was going to come this morning, but it's not here yet. So it's probably going to come when I'm doing this video. We're going to hear a lot of barking. They just love to bark when somebody comes to the door. So I will just try to talk over their barking, and they will stop as soon as he walks back down the steps. But I just wanted to let you know when and if it starts, what they're doing. Okay, I'm here this afternoon to talk about this new Sunflower 3D embossing folder and how you can make quick and easy cards with this. So this is big enough to fit 2 card fronts, 5 1/4 by 4, into the folder. So I just wanted to tell you that first. And then, you run it through with the platform and the plate number 4 because it's a 3D one. And it will give you a nice design. It's hard to see on this pattern paper, but I'm going to show you how you can fix that. But let's start by making this one where it has the green leaves and the yellow petals and the pecan pie middles. So this one I did in Daffodil Delight. This one I tried in Crushed Curry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Early Espresso ink pad. I'm going to open it up like this, and I'm going to take this edge that's right here at the top, and very gently, with not hardly any pressure, you just want to hold it at an angle and bring it down like this. Sometimes it's easier if I turn it upside down to do the next side. Now you want to kind of keep the same pressure all the times that you drag it so you don't get darker spots. So I think that looks pretty good. So that added. Now when I did this one, I tried to color the leaves in first, but they were kind of hard to see. So what I did was I recolored them after I put on the Early Espresso. So today we're going to start out with that. And I have a different point of the embossing folder for this piece. It must have been laying in a different part of the folder than this one. So there's not as many leaves on this one. If I wanted more leaves, I could have lined it up better when I ran it through the folder. But that's okay. We still have a few leaves here, here, and here, and here. So we might have just as many. I have these wet ones so that I can clean up my glass mat. But look, no mess. You don't have to add ink to your embossing folder. You simply drag it down Then I took some Granny Apple green blends, and this is the dark one, and I kind of went over where these leaves are, because the ink dries in a few minutes from when you put it on there, unless you use the white. That takes a little bit longer because it's the craft ink that is thicker. So I'm just going to color in these leaves. Now you could do this ahead of time, but like I said, the shape and everything of the leaves is much easier to see now after you have the early espresso on there. Now let's see, here's another leaf over here. This just takes a few minutes depending on how many leaves you have. Oh, and I think I see one up here. It's a little bit darker, so it might not turn out as green. That's because I might have had a little bit more pressure right there at the top when I started. And then I took some pecan pie and I did the middles. I just very lightly used the brush tip because it's such a big area. Okay, there we go. Now I'm not going to take the time to color it all in, but that's all I did. And this one, the pecan pie looks lighter and the green looks lighter because it was Daffodil Delight and this is crushed curry. But then that kind of gives you your traditional sunflower. So let's see what happens if we decide to go non-traditional. So I watched a video by Patty Bennett that showed some tips and everything for this, and she was saying how addicting it is, and once you start you can't stop, and I'd have to agree, because when I was making these samples yesterday I just kept thinking of more colors I could put together. So this is first I'm going to show you just on plain cardstock. This is strawberry slush, and so you can either do on this side, which is the embossed side where the leaves and the middle are in, or you could do the raised side, which I chose for this one. And just look, I chose Secret Sea ink as my ink on that, and I think it turned out pretty nice. This one I started off with Pool Party, put some Pool Party on there, and then I put on Coastal Cabana, and I kind of got this different color of green. Now this one, let's just see what this one is. This one is Crushed Curry with Timid Tiger. Now you could put in, Patty combined a lot of different colors and everything. I kind of just went with one or two colors, and the reason like these flowers are darker, I started at the top, so I think I put more pressure, and then when I got to the leaves I didn't, so it kind of made it look lighter down here at the bottom. So now let's look at some DSP. So this DSP was like this with the copper embossed. And what I did was I ran it through with the embossing folder, and then I used my basic white ink pad and went over it just to kind of lighten up them a little bit. And I'm hoping that you can, on the camera, that you can see the copper shines through in different spots. This one was, I kept all my pieces over here so I could show you, I think. Well, maybe I don't have this one. This was one out of, it's called Everyday Skies, and it was one that had some, it was kind of like this piece, where it had some orange and pink and yellow and blue. So, and then I used, first I put on some pumpkin pie, and then I put on Cajun Craze. And you can see how you get blue flowers. It just gives it a really different look. Now on this side of the same paper, I used just Cajun Craze. So it's kind of tone on tone, which also turned out very nice. This piece was from the Thoughtful Wishes. It looks like this on one side and like this on the other side. And so I used crushed curry as my color to swipe across. And you can always, I could have swiped different colors across this. That might have been something pretty too. So now this one, I'm trying to see exactly what this one was. I'm pretty sure this one is this from the fruit salad paper with Cajun Craze. So you can see some spots of Daffodil Delight and some lighter colors of orange, and then the Cajun Craze over the top. I thought that brought that out very nice. This one is again from this fruit salad paper, and it was this crushed curry. And again, this time I used Calypso Coral as my color to put on there. So I thought that looked pretty nice. Now this one, there they go barking now. This one is this piece of paper, again from the fruit salad, and I used Pretty Peacock. And noticed here I must have not laid it. It must have just went a little bit off the embossing folder. You know, I probably had it at the edge, so I could just trim that off. And this was one I did for us to play with right now. So this again is from the Everyday Skies. So we could either use this side or this side. So let's use this Misty Moonlight side first. I have a sanding block here. Stampin' Up! Used to sell sanding blocks like this. And I'm just going to lightly sand, and it will catch all the raised areas and just give us a look of flowers in the background. Now when you pick it up and look at it, you can see the flowers. I'm not sure if they're going to show up as much as they do on here as they do when I'm actually looking at it, but that's one way you could go. You just have to be careful because the paper's already kind of thin from going through the embossing folder, and you don't want to tear it. So let's see what we could do with this side. This side, I think, might be a good one to use our white with. And we'll see if we can lighten it up some. So I have my basic white pad here. Again, I'm going to open it. I'm going to use this edge. I'm going to hold it at an angle. And I'm just going to very lightly pull it down. Now the basic white, since it's a much thicker ink, takes a little bit more pressure just because it's so thick to pull it down with. So how does that turn out? Looking pretty nice. Now what do you think would happen if we put on some, we'll just try, well, we're gonna have to let this dry first so that it doesn't mix, because the white takes a little bit to dry. So we're gonna set this over here and try to decide what other color we want to put with it, but we'll let it sit over there and dry for a little bit. We'll move on to our next paper. Okay, this one is from the Terrific Toadstools, and it's got this really nice stripe on this side, which is the deboss side, and then it has the flowers, which are kind of hard to see with such a busy pattern, but when we put our ink on, so what do you think we should go with here? I'm thinking maybe, which I brought a whole bunch of colors over here, that we should either go with pumpkin pie, or how about melon mambo? Let me go get that. Now you're probably going to want to re-ink the edges of your stamp pads after you, or your ink pads after you do a couple of these, because it really drains the ink off there. So I have some melon mambo here, and we're just going to try, and I like to turn it this way next and come like this. And see how I didn't get it very much over there on that side, so I'm going to try again. And this is the deboss side. Oh, I think that looks kind of pretty. That would make a nice bright birthday card. Let me get this cleaned up. And as long as we're playing here, let's try, see what happens if we do add some pumpkin pie to it. Again, we'll just open this up. Hi, Judy. This sunflower embossing folder is just so much fun to play with. Let's try some pumpkin pie on top of this melon mambo and see what color we end up with. Oh, look, we kind of end up with a dark orange. See what you can tell that it used up a lot of ink down here because it's a lighter color. So, let me get another baby wipe. I kind of used that other one all up. But this is much less messy than putting the color on the embossing folder. And plus you can add extra colors. Always start with your lighter color to your darker color. So what do you think about that one? It almost looks like it's got bars going down it from the stripes. And it always sometimes leaks through to the other side because of the weight of the DSP. I kind of like that one. I think that would make a nice birthday card. So let's try a lighter, softer color. Let's try this. I had some old DSP. This is from a while ago, so this I'm pretty sure is Smoky Slate. So I was thinking that maybe Misty Moonlight might look good on that. And this time we're going to do it on the embossed side. I kind of missed the top over here, and now I put it on darker. How about that? That looks kind of pretty, doesn't it? You have that gray in there, and then the misty moonlight. Let me see. I think I still have my Secret C over here. Maybe I don't. What other color could we do with the misty moonlight? See, I thought I had all these colors over here and I wouldn't need to get up and get some new ones, but okay. I'm gonna get Night and Navy. Let's go with that. Night and Navy will be a shade darker than the misty moonlight. So we're just going to go very lightly. There we go. That gave it a different look, didn't it? I kind of like that look. That would make a nice card too. Okay. So now let's see what happens if we use some cardstock and some different colors. I don't know, you just start and then you just keep finding all these different colors and different DSP that you can use. So we're going to use the deboss side, and this is Petal Pink, and we're going to try some Poppy Parade. I really did think I had Poppy Parade over here. I did. So maybe we'll try some Peach Pie first. And then we'll put some Poppy Parade over it. To see how that looks. You know, you could just play with and you know, different things and how it looks on the debossed side or how it looks on the embossed side. So, get my, here, we're just going to kind of come down. I missed a little bit on the edge. And I'm not pressing hard at all. I'm just very gently going over it. So this is the Petal Pink with some Peach Pie, which is a nice color. But let's see what happens if we put on some Poppy Parade. Oh, look at that. That kind of goes really well with the Peach Pie. Doesn't it? I like that. Look at now, I have Poppy Parade all over, Peach Pie. But I like this much better than, because sometimes we used to add ink to the embossing folder, and then you have a really much bigger mess to clean up. And I did kind of have some shadowing in there, like right here, but I think that kind of just adds a little bit to the card. Now, if we wanted to, we could go on the emboss side. Let this, I really had a lot of the Poppy Parade color. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn it over. And we're going to try it on the emboss side. Of course, some of it leaked over. But let's try some strawberry slush on the petal pink. Oh, that's a pretty color too on there, isn't it? That gives us a nice bright color also. Need a new baby wipe. You know, you could have alcohol pads or just a cloth with water on there. I just had bought a package of baby wipes when I was doing my baby wipe technique, so I'm using them up, keeping my glass mat clean. So what do you think about that one? I like that. So we did both sides. We'd have to pick which side we wanted to make a card from. But look how different they look just by using different colors. Now I really wanted to try this one just as a different color. So I used Highland Heather, and I have over here in my stack of mini colors, somewhere I have Gorgeous Grape. Because I think this is going to be a pretty one. So, I'm going to do it on the embossed side, and I'm just going to start at the top. Oh, doesn't that just make them pop? That turned out really nice. I like that one. I'm telling you. These baby wipes are getting used today, aren't they? But I don't have to run to the sink every time with my embossing folder to clean it up. So, we're just going to have so many different colors. I like that one. And you know, if you really wanted to, you could even go back, especially if you did the debossed side, you could go back and color your leaves in green like we did for the very first one. You could do that on any of these that we did the other side, you know, the debossed side. Okay, I only have a few more here. So, that is on Highland Heather with Gorgeous Grape ink. I don't think I'm going to try another color on that one. Now this I have some Thoughtful Wishes, I think is the name of this paper. And so we're going to use this side with all these different colors. But you could use this side too. And this is the debossed side. So what color do you think we could use? I know this is Wild Wheat and we don't have it anymore. But I used crushed curry the last time I had a Wild Wheat one. Or we could even go with peach pie as a light color just to lighten it up a little bit. Let's try that. Or what else do I have here? Crushed curry. Oh, I know what we haven't really tried yet. Oh, that's not going to go with it though. Calypso Coral's not going to go with those colors. Okay. So we will try peach pie first. That's probably not going to be as dark because I really need to go re-ink my pads, but we'll see what we get. I kind of hold it so it doesn't get away from me too. Oh, that kind of looks pretty, doesn't it? The peach pie. with the Blackberry Bliss and the Wild Wheat. I like the way that one turned out. Now, if we wanted to make it darker, we could probably add, I don't know. Here, we haven't tried Timid Tiger yet. Let's just try some Timid Tiger. Oh, that kind of brought out more orange. That looks pretty too. I'm telling you, you could just work all day with these and keep making different colors. Now look at all these cards I'm going to be able to make, and they're really fast to put together. Another baby wipe. Okay, I've got two more here. This is some Peach Pie Designer Series paper, and this is Peach Pie cardstock. So I wanted to try the Calypso Coral. Poppy Parade, Pumpkin Pie, Peach Pie. I know I have the, I just saw the, because I said it wouldn't go good with the, there it is, way down here at the bottom. So let's try some Calypso Coral for this one. Isn't that looks pretty. I just love them all. Okay, I kind of laid my ink pad on there, so I got that a little dark. So maybe we could go with a little bit of Cajun Craze. Let's try that on the back one, on the deboss side. You all will have to make some of these and then put them in the comments so we can see some other color combinations. So what did I say I wanted to do this one with? I already forgot. Oh. Some crushed curry, maybe. No, Cajun Craze, that's what I said, because we haven't used the Cajun Craze yet. I used this a lot yesterday. This kind of makes it look like a little bit more of a fall card with the darker colors with the light. But that turned out really nice. So now this is one that's debossed, so we could use our Granny Apple green or old olive, whatever color green you wanted, and color the leaves. So it kind of depends on where you set this in the embossing folder, how many leaves you have. And it's when it's debossed, the leaves do not get all the color, so they're easier to color in. Oh yeah, that's gonna look really nice, don't you think? I have some leaves up there. I'm not going to take time to color them all, but just color in a few here. I'm not really using my blends to shade with, but you could. Look, I have, for some reason, every time I close an ink pad, I get ink on my thumb. It's just the way I must hold my hand. This one I kind of like because it kind of looks like it's, I don't want to say ombre, but like some of it's purple, some of it's crushed curry or peach, and some of it is blackberry bliss. It just has a lot of different colors in it. So we were going to see if this one, which one was it now? This one that we did with the white ink, and now I'm pretty sure that white ink is pretty much dried, but what color should we use? Let's try some crushed curry. That might lighten it up some. We will just see what happens. See, that kind of gives it a yellow. Oh, look at how much ink I've used now. I really need to re-ink my crushed curry. I've used it a lot. It's not very hard to re-ink your ink pads either. I'm gonna have to get them all. I might as well just leave all the ones I used today out until I can get the re-inkers down and fix them. But how do you like that? I kind of like that. I think on a card it would look good if we made the card horizontal, since it kind of looks like it should go this way with the dark at the top, the light at the bottom. But that really, the crushed curry you can kind of really see now since we did white first. Well, I hope you enjoyed, and then I saw where some people took and, like, let's see if there's one I could do it with. They might, like, take this flower here and cut it out and pop it up on there to give it a different color combination. Where are my snips? I'm just going to kind of roughly cut this out. I can cut this out better later, but just to give you an idea of what it would look like. Now I could put it right over that flower and pop it up, and it would just give it a different look. Kind of still going with it, but adding some blackberry bliss and some wild weed in there and some calypso coral. It might even look pretty on this one if you wanted to add a different color. See? Let's see, it might even look good on this. Well, this one you can't because it's not the right side. Yeah, this one it could. Oh, you could really do one on there, and then that would really add some lightness to that one. Well, I hope you enjoyed my tutorial on how to make quick and easy cards, because now all you're going to have to do is like get gorgeous grape cardstock, cut out a card base, glue this on, and somewhere around here I did have some labels to put on them. Here they go. I have this Enjoy label that I had an extra one of, so I could just put this on a Misty Moonlight cardstock, add the Enjoy, add some ribbon, some embellishments, and that would look really pretty. And then I have this one here. I just have some extra tags cut out that I had left over from other cards, but that would look pretty too, wouldn't it? Well, I hope you have fun with the embossing folder and that you have a great day. And if you make some with it, then put them in the comments so we can all see what colors you chose. There's so many more colors than what I chose today. Have a great afternoon. Bye.